All right. First and foremost, want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shah, Bashim Kakwadash. I want to give double honor to the apostle of GMS that ruleth well. And salutations, peace, blessings to the hopeful elect, the one-thirds, and the Akim, the Akwaf, that are tuning in. And, this is for the remnant. Lord's will, you're edified. Been meaning to do this for a little while. This article came out in 2013, Atlanta Black Star. So it says 5 ways integration undeveloped, so-called Black America. And, what you see today, for some reason, Jake, they always talked about karma. You reap what you sow, payback. And, when you look at Jake, a lot of things that has happened amongst us, and, Jake had this, notion that they take the anger out on each other, and they don't forgive each other. But what Master did to us, our people always forgive and forget and try to block out the pain, the agony, the suffering, the atrocities, the strategic plan that Esau did upon us. So what you're seeing today is Esau is losing. Esau is pathetic. His woman is disrespecting him. His woman is being wild. Esau is bugging out. And Deuteronomy 32:7, the Lord is, putting these curses that was once upon us, upon Esau. So it says Black family structures collapsed after integration. Because see, these devils really thought they escaped. And it's funny because these Edomites are angry. They're upset. They're mad. And I just had a little altercation with Karen the other day. So it says from 1890 to 1950, so-called black women married at higher rates than white women. And what you see today is the complete opposite. The so-called black woman, all after the civil rights, after the civil rights, the so-called black woman was coerced and strategically planned to become a whore, the biggest, nastiest whore, especially the ones in America. And in the eyes, in the the witchcraft and the delusion of America, they put this image of the Jezebel on the so-called black woman, and they promote her across the 4 corners. So it says, despite a consistent shortage of black males due to their higher mortality rate, according to a report released by Washington, D.C. based think tank of Urban Institute, the state of the African-American family is worse today than it was in the 1960s, 4 years before President Johnson passed the Civil Rights Act. So it's very terrible. It's beyond terrible. Only a nuke can fix death, and starting over in the kingdom can fix. I mean, shit, just look at this big so-called black ass nigga Shaquille O'Neal, through the biggest, he's one of those modern day, coons. So it's in 1965, only 8% of childbirths in the black community occurred out of wedlock. In 2010, that figure was 41%. And today, out of wedlock, childbirths in black community is an astonishing 72%. Researchers Heather Ross and Isabel Sawhill argue that marital stability is directly related to the husband's relative socioeconomic standing and the size of earning difference between men and women. And Esau did that. Instead of focusing on maintaining black male employment to allow them to provide for their families, Johnson passed the Civil Rights Act with full affirmative action for women. That act benefited mostly white women and created a welfare that encouraged removal of the black male from the home. And we also know the other strategic plans that Esau did to removing and destroying the male image, so-called black male image. And you can read Sirach the third chapter on that. And the scripture says, in order to go into to go take over a home, you have to bear, tie up, basically remove the strong man of the household. Many black men were also dislodged from their families and pushed into the rapidly expanding prison. Yeah, because everybody talks about Bill Clinton. Well, Bill Clinton was one of the main ones. What's that fucking bitch? Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. They had a lot of all the Bill Clinton, the Clintons, and etc. George Bush, the Democrats. I mean, all of them got all of them had a hand to do with this prison system. Complex that developed in the wake of rising unemployment. So it says the unemployment rate of black men quadrupled after integration. And these fucking pop-ups, man, it's fucking worse. So since integration, the unemployment rate of black men have been spiraling out of control. In 1954, white men had, and another thing too, that was Section 8, basically, that comfortability and that dependency actually actually wiped out a working class. Mothers, when mothers are comfortable and can depend on money, they will get transfixed into a state where they won't move, and they will use they will use and destroy and basically ostracize, if I'm saying it correctly, and pretty much mold their children to be a degenerate. They will push their daughters out either to be whores or independent or strong, but they make the boys weak. And it's really just a cycle of women continuing to be whores and sluts or strong independent workers in career or whores for the society, and they make these men suitable, these little boys that grow up to be boys and become boys in full blown strength. They eventually they grow up to be mentally weak. And so they fill up those prison homes. They have no skills but anger and emotion, and they just ravage out of control. They join gangs, etc. They really become entertainment for the so-called white man. White men had a 0% unemployment rate, while African American experienced about a 4% rate. By 2010, it was at 67% for black men compared to 7.7% for white men. The workforce in 1954 was 79% African American. By 2011, that number had decreased to 57%. The number of employed black women, however, has increased. That was due to that feminism. In 1954, 43% of African American women had jobs. By 2011, 54% of black women are job holders. Although the earning gaps between African Americans and their white peers has narrowed, it still persists, with a black man earning about 70% of white man's income. In 1960, black men earned about 60% of what white men were paid. So, myth of a colorblind society propagated after integration. I'm going to just read a couple. The civil rights movement pushed for laws that would create a colorblind society where people would not be restricted from access to education, jobs, voting, travel, public accommodations, or housing because of race. However, legislation has been ineffective in eradicating white privilege. You're damn right. But that's part of the illusion. You can read Isaiah 47 about the witchcraft and sorcery, because Esau had to pretty much mold the society into a melting pot, but due to the shadow government he controls, the elites, and this is his playhouse. And you Jakes, you are Esau's toys. He does what he wants with you. It says not gonna read all. Whitewash or race, the myth of colorblind society says in the U.S. The color of one's skin still determines success or failure, poverty, or affluence, illness or health, prison or college. Colorblind policy that treat everyone the same, no exception for the historically oppressed and disenfranchised, are often used to argue against corrective policies such as affirmative action. But colorblindness today merely boasts the unfair advantages that color-coded practices enable white America to accumulate over a long, very time. And what happens is, what Esau is really just shaping and molding this society into, and he does it very strategically, in the illusion of you being free, and the hope that Esau gives Jake to be like to his peers. For instance, you got your basketball players, your football players, your college degree niggas, your niggas that are corporate, and the niggas that are have their own businesses somewhat. They only let a few through so they can more as a whole give this dream the illusion. That brother, one thing you can look at, that brother from Mississippi, Jim's dedication. He's been going into a heavy series of the American dream has been a nightmare. Yep. So black community became dependent after integration, and through that dependency, it wiped out the working class of being strong, driven, women being the little girls being steered to become wives, and little boys, little men, the little man child to grow up to become a working class. They grew up they become degenerates. So it says African Americans have appealed to the descendants of our oppressors to right their ancestors' wrongs, pay us sufficient wages to take care of our family, educate our children, and police our neighborhoods. As a result, only 2% of all working black Americans work for another black person. Yep. Within their own neighborhood. Because of this, professionally trained black people provide very little economic benefit to the black community. Yep. There is no black community, The black median household income is about 64% that of whites, while the black median wealth is about 16% that of whites. Millions of black children are being miseducated by people who don't care about them, and they're unable to compete academically with their peers. At the same time, the criminal justice has declared war on young black men with policies such as stop and frisk and 3 strikes. I guess I'm not gonna. But that was it. Okay, that was it. So let me see. I'm not gonna read that, but this is just a little. How you say a little. Some things that Esau has done to our people, and this is why Esau's getting that payback, man. You look at these Edomites, the so-called white men, the so-called white women, they're fucking losing, man. They're fucking weak. They're weird, and they're getting back to that what they reaped. So let me get you reap what you sow. Jake loved being so-called using these scriptures, but they don't really, when it comes time for massive getting that payback, that's when Jake put their head down. So it says, Galatians 6 and 7, be not deceived, Yahweh is not mocked. And this, I'm telling you, man, there's nothing no more that the so-called white men have done. So like, it's nothing that no other nation have done as the amount of the so-called white man. Like the scripture says in 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, I believe, or the 4th chapter, tells you how this man sitteth himself as the Most High. No other nation on earth have tried to compete, deplete, take from the scriptures, add to the scriptures, and put himself the images, and make images that that's part of the law, statute, commandments. Exodus 20, it tells you not to do so. Images, idols, etc. But this man, and I'm talking about Esau, have done it. So Yahweh's not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So Esau, all he does he's been lying. He's trying to be something that he's not. That Baywatch era, the Baywatch era is over. This old white hope. Batman, Superman, Spider Man, uh, Captain Hero. Them days are over with. Marvel, Wolverine. Them days are over with. If the whole world is starting to see you're nothing but a fucking criminal. You're nothing but you're the true nigga. You're the true nigga on earth. You're the true gangster. You're the true bully, the demon, the devil of the earth, man. The Bible speaks of. You're nothing but a deceiver, a murderer, a backstabber, a double crosser, a traitor. There's no peace within you. All you know is war and lies and deceit. And what's in this man, he has to pay back for it. So for he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, but he that soweth to the spirit shall of the spirit reap life everlasting. And so what's going on now? This man has been calling himself Christians, etc. But this man is starting to come to find out he's a devil. But you're starting to see the true worshipers of Yahweh Shem Rashah, and these things that we're teaching through Yahweh Shah is for our people to stay spiritual and keep learning wisdom, action, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. What's that? I think it's another scripture. Yeah, this one. Yeah. So the Lord's going to take away, Esau, and set up the true worshipers and true anointed, and the ones that really stand up for Yahweh Shem Rashah. But that's pretty much it. I'm going to wrap it up. Lord's will you were edified with that. Shalom.